Alright guys, and welcome back to the Saints VD channel for something content for a very exciting video. It is confirmed Mohammed Salisu has signed for Southampton. He is a Saints player, the first signing of the summer, and a pretty good one, to be honest with you. I think we've started off really well with our business this window. But before we get into the video and talk about Salisu, who he is, where he's come from, etc., make sure you have hit the subscribe button and you have your notifications turned on. Plenty of content will be coming out over the summer while Saints are on their break, so do not worry about that. And if Saints continue their transfer business, lots of transfer content to come. Right, let's get into the video. So it is confirmed Mohammed Salisu has signed for Saints. There was a bit of interest, it seemed, from us in January. Plenty of big clubs linked with him, Real Madrid, Man United, but he has chosen to come to Saints. Now, whether Man United and Real Madrid followed up their interest in the summer window, I don't think that was the case. From what I read, it seemed that it was going to be between us and Ligue 1 side Rennes. But it's a 4-year contract and he's believed to be on £35,000 per week. The transfer fee is £10.9 million. That was his release clause with Real Valladolid. And for a 21-year-old defender who was linked with teams like Real Madrid and Man United, I think £10.9 million could prove to be an absolute steal. Now, since La Liga restarted, it's been very clear to see that Mohammed Salisu will not be a Real Valladolid player next season. He's been removed completely from the matchday squad for the last, I think, at least 5 games, which is essentially almost what we've done with Højbjerg, except for the fact that he's not even been on the bench. He's not been involved at all. I guess they've been trying to keep him fit to make sure that they get their money for him in the summer, because I don't know how big a club Real Valladolid are, in all honesty, but it seems that £11 million almost could be a pretty hefty transfer fee for them and something that they can use to reinvest. Now, as I mentioned, it seemed to be between us and Rennes in terms of where Salisu was going to go this summer. Rennes, in fairness, they have got Champions League football, but I think there's just something extra about the Premier League and the prospect of playing in it that is such an exciting factor for players coming to England and looking for their new move across Europe. You know, yeah, like I said, Rennes, Champions League football, that would have been cool for him. But there's a project going on at Saints as well. You know, I think for him, obviously, he wants to test himself against the best teams in the world, best players in the world in the Premier League. But as well as with Southampton, it seems that there is a project going there. And I was saying this to a mate actually the other day, obviously off camera. I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal rang up and said, look, we want to be fighting for the Europa League, if not in a couple of years a Champions League place, which is crazy to think of now, but he's an ambitious manager. I wouldn't be surprised if that was what sort of got the Salisu deal over the line, convinced him to come to Southampton. But it's all well and good saying that he's signed, that he's going to be a player. What is he going to do for us? Well, he is only 21 years old. He turned 21 in April, so he's a very young player still with plenty of potential. But the 2019-20 proved to be his breakthrough season. He hasn't actually been playing first team football for that long. He signed for Valladolid from an African-based academy back in 2017, joined Valladolid's reserves, the B team, and then this season got his chance in the first team. So it's all been a very quick process for Mohammed Salisu, and his rise has been pretty rapid. But in terms of the type of defender that he is, no nonsense, it seems from all that I've watched of him and read about him. He's not really a ball-playing defender. It's more about putting it into Rose Ed, which I think is exactly what we need, in all honesty. You know, we don't know whether it's going to be Jack Stephens or Jan Bednarek who gets dropped for him if he is chosen to be our first-choice centre-back or second-choice centre-back. But of course, Jack Stephens, we've seen this season how comfortable on the ball he is. Bednarek, not as much, at times comfortable, but Bednarek's more the sort of slide in for the tackle kind of defender, which is quite similar to Salisu, it seems. But like I said, no nonsense is probably exactly what we need. We need to cut out the individual errors, because that is what cost us at the very beginning of the season. You know, if you look at the whole season, we're only in the position that we are outside of the top half because of our awful start. You know, you think of the form that we've been in since really the end of November, early December time. We've been a Europa League club, and that's what's sort of kicked us in the shins a little bit. The fact that we were so poor at the start that we were always behind, and that's why I'm so excited for the new season. But I think it's exactly what we need. Like I said, beginning of the season, there were so many individual errors, especially from the back four. You know, when Vestergaard was in the team instead of Stephens, for example. And granted, we've looked a lot more solid, particularly since this restart. But we need better quality at depth, because if Stephens or Bednarek are injured, we're absolutely screwed. I mean, the agenda against Vestergaard is hotting up. I think Vestergaard will be sold in the summer, to be honest. He's had a few good performances here and there, but overall he's just had a shocking time at Saints. I mean, the other day against Brighton, he was just appalling. I know he had that shot, but yeah, no, defensively he just wasn't there, and he hasn't been for a long time. But if you're a long-term subscriber of the channel, you'll know that I'm a big fan of clubs getting their business done early. Like I said last summer when we got Moussa Djenepo in, even before pre-season started, I was a big fan of that move. Shea Adams as well, you know, we did our business early last summer. I'm a big fan of it in this case, in this scenario, because at the moment, I think Salisu comes in as third choice. I can't really see who he'd replace at the moment. Like I said, we've had a very solid restart. Defensively, we've looked good. Bednarek and Stevens have been class. But it does give Ralph the opportunity to look at Salisu, identify his strengths and weaknesses, and then they can work on that, because I don't think he's going to be rushed into the team. I think this is a gradual process. This is a signing for the future potentially. I think we could probably see him as one of the first choice centre-backs come the end of next season, but I think at the very start it's going to be a case of Stevens and Bednarek still, and then if either of them have a poor start to the season or they screw up regularly, I think that's when we're going to see Salisu come into the team. But to start off with, it just gives us much better squad depth. It seems like he's going to be a perfect fit. And especially if we're getting rid of Vestergaard, we need another centre-back. And to replace Vestergaard with a 21-year-old with plenty of prospect, I think that's really good business from us. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him play for Saints. But that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you are excited for what Salisu can bring to Saints and you have enjoyed the video, leave it a like. Make sure you have hit the subscribe button with your notifications turned on too, so you don't miss a thing throughout the off period. Follow us on all of our socials, and we'll see you very soon.